Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the Buckeye Racing Network. I'm Tyler Bentley. Alongside me in the booth, as always, is Mr. Tim Henderson. He has stepped away for a moment and will be back. Practice session for the Short Track Rivals Racing 305 Sprint Division is wrapping up. Hayden Todd tops the timing board at a lap time of 12.49. Lewis Knight at a 12.50, and Dylan Wilson at a 12.57. We're just turning over into qualifying, 5 minutes up on the board. 10 drivers signed in for action here tonight in week number 4.
3 laps qualifying.
And I forgot to turn off my extra sound, so that way you guys don't hear it. Anyways, Matt Smith on the racetrack in car 31, one of the admins here at STRR. And I believe the only admin racing here tonight, as he comes across to complete lap number 1 and runs a 14.19 second lap time. Lewis Knight turns a 13.57. First and second, Logan Brown, Tyler Bickford, Anthony Ramsey also on the racetrack. Lap 2 for Matt Better at a 14.17, and Lewis Knight also improved to a 13.47. Anthony Ramsey 14.20, Tyler Bickford a 14.22, Logan Brown now a 13.99 on his second lap as he's coming around to complete lap 3. It always slips my mind these drivers get 3 laps of qualifying. Let's see what Logan's able to turn here on lap number 3. About the same there, 13.88. Armando Melgoza completed lap 1 at a 13.81. He's good for second place at the moment. Lap 2 in the books for Armando. He runs a 13.80, so a little bit of a pickup. Still going to stay second. Chase DeCluse, first lap of 14.19. Lap 3 complete for Armando. Picks up to a 13.64. Hayden Todd, a 13.68. Car number 4, he works his way through 3 and 4 now. Cross the line to complete lap 2. Was a little slower there at a 13.95. Let's see what he's able to do on lap 3. He completes lap 3. Still going to stay right at a 13.68. Good for third quick. So far, 8 drivers have taken a time. Tony Edrington and Dylan Wilson, 2 drivers that haven't made their way onto the speedway. We'll keep an eye out for those drivers if they enter or not. Still got 2 minutes left in tonight's qualifying session. Tim, I believe I heard you. Are you back?
I am back. I had to go get a water. Stay hydrated, folks.
That's it. You got to in this summer weather, this summer heat. Absolutely. But we do have a lot of exciting things coming up here on the Buckeye Racing Network. Still, each and every Tuesday and Thursday have the coverage of STRR and their 305 sprints and their limited late models on Thursday nights. I think this coming Sunday night is going to be the championship race for the League of Outlaws IMCA style modified division. So we'll have the coverage of that this coming Sunday night, and I think they're taking a little bit of time off. The League of Outlaws, that is. And we got some exciting events planned in the fall. So, stay tuned here. Got some fun stuff. We're going to be partaking in some events. So if you see us out on the racetrack, Tim or myself, make sure to give us a shout. We always appreciate that. And if you're tuned in with us for the first time here tonight, let us know how you're doing. Let us know if you're pulling for any specific driver. We always enjoy seeing those messages come across the screen. As we have just about 50 seconds left, and I don't believe Tony Edrington or Dylan Wilson is going to take a time. So I think just 8 cars going to qualify. We may or may not split it into 2 heats, I would imagine. Here, and of course, the 30-lap feature later on. Nobody has to worry about going home, so everybody will get to run the feature.
looks like Edrington disconnected.
Okay, so I say Tony Edgerton will be a scratch. And it's up in the air on Dylan Wilson up to this point. But with just 8 seconds to go now, Lewis Knight with a lap time of 13.47 is going to be tonight's quick qualifier in car number 7. So congratulations to Lewis taking tonight's quick time. All right, heat racing action. Ready to start. We're going to split them up into 2 heats. The grid for heat race number 1 will be Lewis Knight and Hayden Todd. Row 2, Chase DeClue and Matt Smith. Row 3, Dylan Wilson, which I don't think will start, so we should have 4 cars here. In heat race number 1. As they start to roll down the front straightaway and into turn 1 following the iRacing Pace vehicle. A couple of sharp cars, huh? You always like to see that. Lewis Knight got Premier Racing setups right on the side of his machine. Those are our partners here on the Buckeye Racing Network. Certainly appreciate them. You're looking for a setup? Don't look any further than Premier Racing setups. Use code Buckeye15 for 15% off. Hayden Todd going to start on the outside of the front row. Matt Smith, Chase DeClue going to follow right behind them. Pace truck already off because you have to enter the pits entering turn number 1. So an interesting pit area here at Kern County. As the field works their way slowly through 3 and 4, Lewis Knight hits the gas. Green flag is in the air. We are racing in heat race number 1. Knight is going to be followed by Todd and DeClue and Smith side by side for 3rd. Go ahead, Tim.
I was just going to say, he got...
Uh-oh.
Lewis Knight got a huge launch. Chase DeClue with a little trouble. I believe contact was made.
Yeah, him and Matt Smith got together there. But everybody's still going, just a little bit spaced out. Lewis Knight leads him into turn 3 here on the second lap. Hayden Todd following behind him. Everybody looks like they're running up on the cushion up at this point in tonight's events. Chase DeClue trying to battle back to get back up to Matt Smith, as he has been a little bit quicker than Matt the past couple of laps. So halfway home here in heat race number 1. Matt may be struggling just a bit. Chase DeClue got that car rolling pretty good right behind him. Back up front, just about a second separates Lewis Knight and Hayden Todd. You're coming to 2 laps to go now.
Here comes Chase. He's on the tail tank of Matt Smith.
Yep, he's right there for sure. He's got a couple of laps now, just 1 lap to go. 2 sets of corners. Chase really high through 3 and 4. Loses a little momentum and has to settle back in line. Checkered flag's already waving for Lewis Knight, who's going to win heat race 1. Hayden Todd's going to bring it home 2nd. Matt Smith holds on for 3rd. Chase DeClue will be 4th. That's the finishing order of heat race number 1. Dylan Wilson credited with 5th. Starting lineup for heat race number 2 is Armando Melgoza and Logan Brown on the front row. Anthony Ramsey and Tyler Bickford in row 2, and Tony Edrington should be in row 3, but like Tim said, he disconnected earlier, so I don't believe Tony will be here. So again, 4 cars to start our second heat race for 8 laps. You see some of those cars already starting to roll just ever so slightly on the front straightaway. Armando Melgoza in car 531 is the control driver for the start of this second heat race. Tim, how about you bring us to the green flag here?
Alrighty. Oh, I changed cameras. Armando's gonna pace him through 3 and 4, and they're away. Logan Brown got a really good start. Anthony Ramsey all the way to the inside. Big contact between second, third, and fourth. Tyler Bickford looking to take over that second position all the way around the outside as Anthony takes a little bit of a slider line right there. They are now side by side, dead even out of 4. Melgoza, our leader, by 2.5 seconds as Bickford powers out ahead of Anthony Ramsey for second.
Yeah, what a great start for Armando there to get out to over a 2-second advantage over the rest of the guys. Bickford trying to reel him in just a bit. Anthony Ramsey's following closely behind him. Logan Brown had settled now in the 4th place position as he made contact with the outside wall down the back straightaway on lap number 1. Armando running the pace that he needs to run to remain in the lead. As I say that, Tyler Bickford eats away at some of that advantage down the back straightaway here, as it's just 2 laps to go. White flag in the air for Armando out front. Running up high out of turn 4, Armando Melgoza, heat race number 2 winner. Tyler Bickford will be second. Third goes to Anthony Ramsey. Fourth's going to go to Logan Brown. And Logan Brown giving his displeasure to Anthony Ramsey after the checkered flag waves. 5 minutes on the clock for our warm-up session here. Drivers going to head back out onto the racetrack for 5 quick minutes of practice, and we will roll into the night's 30-lap feature event. While we wait for our warm-up session to complete, we're going to step aside and get a word from our sponsors over at Premier Racing Setups. right, everybody, welcome back in here. Just about a minute left in our warm-up session. Lewis Knight tops the board at a 13.85. Hayden Todd close behind there in second at a 13.94. Anthony Ramsey at 13.97. Tyler Bickford a 14.02. Matt Smith a 14.07. Chase DeClue a 14.13. And Armando Melgoza a 14.39 here for the drivers that have taken a time in our warm-up session. Yeah, real quick, just a quick update on the points here tonight. Let me get those pulled up. After last week, the points in the 305 division, Jeremy Christensen was top of the board at 119 points. Hayden Todd second, 117 points. Well, Jeremy's not here tonight, so Hayden Todd is due to, it looks like, to move into the points lead. Matt Smith was sitting comfortably in third at 116 points. And then Michael Evert in fourth with 103 points. Michael's not here either. And then Austin Strang was 75. Dana Burdick, sixth with 71. Neither one of those drivers are here. So there will be some shuffling in our point standings at the conclusion of tonight's racing, that's for sure. Starting lineup for tonight's feature event: Lewis Knight and Armando Melgoza on the front row. Row 2 will be Hayden Todd and Tyler Bickford. Row 3 will be Matt Smith and Anthony Ramsey. Row 4, Chase DeClue and Logan Brown. Row 5, two drivers that aren't here, Dylan Wilson and Tony Edrington. .30 laps on the board, 8 cars going to start. Well, I say that, I think we only have 7 to start, as Logan Brown wasn't able to take the grid, so 7 cars will start tonight's feature race. Well, just one. Oh, I almost beat you to it.
Who's going to be your one to watch here?
Well, my driver to watch, I think I'm going to have to go with the driver starting on the pole, Lewis Knight. He's got Premier Racing setups on the side of that race car, and he ran a very good heat race number 1. Well, who you got the eye on tonight, Tim?
I'm going to keep my eye on that 4th place runner in the 07 machine, Tyler Bickford.
All right, good big green flag goes in the air. We're ready to rock and roll from Kern for 30 laps. Oh my goodness, I thought Hayden Todd was going to make contact with Lewis Knight through turn 1. He kept it off of him, and we continue. Armando Melgoza trying to make a move to the inside of Hayden Todd. He tags him, spins him around. Matt Smith makes contact with him. We remain green for the moment. Hayden Todd is in the infield and toes. Unfortunate start to tonight's race for Hayden Todd. Lewis Knight up to a almost 2-second advantage over Tyler Bickford. Anthony Ramsey rounds out the podium. Then Chase DeClue in 4th and Armando Melgoza in 5th. Matt Smith and Hayden Todd both in the pit area now for service and repair. Anthony Ramsey all over the tail tank of Tyler Bickford for the 2nd place position. Then they got a bit of a gap back to Chase DeClue in 4th. This is the closest battle on the racetrack, battle for 2nd. Bickford goes low. Ramsey is going to run up on the cushion. Bickford prevails on the inside, gets a pretty good run out of turn 4 down the front straightaway, and puts a little separation between himself and Ramsey. Has about a car length or 2. Melgoza slow in the infield. Now in the front straightaway as he gets put 1 lap down. Just 4 cars strong on the lead lap. Matt Smith has rejoined the racetrack, I believe. So back up front, Lewis Knight up to 3.11 second advantage over that battle for second as Ramsey makes his way around Tyler Bickford. Then Chase DeClue finds himself in fourth. Then go back to Armando Melgoza, a lap down in fifth. Matt Smith 5 laps down in sixth.
I tell you who is enjoying this second place battle right now. That is Lewis Knight. He's put about a second and a half, maybe 2 seconds on the second and third place driver of Anthony Ramsey and Tyler Bickford.
Absolutely, that advantage keeps growing. He's been the fastest car on the racetrack the last half dozen laps, and he's almost stretched it to 4 seconds and does at the line with just 19 laps to go in our feature event here tonight. Ramsey's running up top, trying everything he can do to try to reel in that 7 machine. Tyler Bickford using the middle lane, and Chase DeClue's following not too far behind those two. He's trying to chase them down, and then Armando Melgoza runs the inside in 1 and 2, rounds out the top 5. Lewis Knight just ran the fastest lap the last time around at a 14-second flat. I'll tell you what, folks, this feature is already going by in the blink of an eye. This time around, we're going to be halfway home, 15 laps down and 15 laps to go.
He's all the way down on the bottom, our leader is. I think the first one I've noticed, really way down where he is.
Yeah, he's got the low line figured out, making great lap time down there. Check on the battle for second. Tyler Bickford still within striking distance, as he's just a couple car lengths behind Anthony Ramsey. Ramsey way up high, Bickford running through the middle, right in the slick.
Contact.
Lewis Knight, contact with Armando Melgoza, and Knight is a right front damaged on his race car. He's going to try to continue. That's going to open the door for second and third. Ramsey, Bickford, down the front straightaway into turn 1. Knight has to get up out of the way. Our first caution flag is going to be displayed. Here, we'll go back and try to take another peek at this as we see Matt Smith, Armando Melgoza, and Lewis Knight. And Melgoza, I don't think Knight expected him to be as slow as he was out of turn 2, and Knight just runs right into the back of Armando. Armando actually rides the fence entering turn 3, and that breaks the right front on the 7 machine of Lewis Knight. So what a crazy turn of events here just past the halfway point.
Have a little bit of Herbie fully loaded action going on in turns 3 here.
Yeah, you're not kidding. You are not kidding. As my timing and scoring has went for a loop here, I believe Anthony Ramsey and Tyler Bickford is going to be scored first and second. Chase DeClue is going to be third. Lewis Knight is going to be fourth after bringing his car to the attention of his crew for repair. It looks like they've got that car fixed up. Armando Melgoza in the pit lane now, as we're already going to double back up here. We should get a restart out of turn 4 this time. Green flag goes in the air. Anthony Ramsey, Tyler Bickford, 1 and 2. Chase DeClue is going to be scored in third.
Luke was wasting no time. Lewis Knight found the bottom again, made one pass, looking to make the second pass on Chase DeClue.
Well, I'll tell you what, my timing and scoring is showing Chase DeClue in the race lead. I'm not sure how that happened, but Chase DeClue is scored in front of Ramsey, Bickford, and Knight. They would be at the tail end of the lead lap, at least on my timing and scoring.
That's what it is on my timing and school, like in iRacing itself as well. I don't know what happened there.
That's some craziness for sure, because Anthony Ramsey and Tyler Bickford should be racing for the lead out of turn 4 this time. But in fact, Chase DeClue is scored the leader.
Oh, there, Chase DeClue.
He comes to a stop at the inside of the front straightaway. That's going to turn it over to Anthony Ramsey and Tyler Bickford. And Lewis Knight following there in third. Chase DeClue brought the car into the pit area. So with 4 laps to go, Ramsey and Bickford battling side by side. Contact between Bickford and Ramsey. Ramsey has a broken suspension on that race car. That's going to bring out our second caution flag of the night. What a wild turn of events. Let's see what happened to Chase DeClue while we have a moment under yellow. Chase DeClue and Matt Smith just made contact down the front straightaway. They got together and Chase DeClue had to tow into the pit lane. And then the battle between Tyler Bickford and Anthony Ramsey, it just got real tight out of turn 4. Bickford came up, Ramsey was coming down. They met in the middle, and Ramsey got the worst of it with the broken suspension on his race car. So in a chaotic and wild turn of events, Tyler Bickford is scored the leader with Lewis Knight in second. Anthony Ramsey will be scored third. Those cars on the lead lap. Armando Melgoza fourth. Chase DeClue fifth. Matt Smith in sixth. Single file restart. Tyler Bickford brings us back to the green flag with just 3 laps remaining. Can Lewis Knight do anything to regain that top position? Ramsey has to fight with a couple of lappers in between himself and first and second. 2 laps to go at the line. Bickford up on the cushion, slow, running steady up there. Lewis Knight following in his footsteps as Bickford runs right through the slick in 3 and 4. White flag just one more time around Kern Raceway Park. Bickford with the big enough advantage as he works on the bottom out of turn 4 to the line. Tyler Bickford wins tonight at Kern Raceway. Lewis Knight's going to be second. Anthony Ramsey comes home third. We'll get to talk to our top 3 in just a moment. Armando Melgoza, Matt Smith rounds out the top 5. Chase DeClue gets credited with 6th. 7th goes to Hayden Todd. 8th to Logan Brown. 9th to Tony Edrington. And 10th to Dylan Wilson. Our top 3 is going to stop here on the front straightaway. And we'll get a word in with those fellas in just a moment. We'll wait to see if they're available for an interview. Hopefully we'll start off with 3rd place runner Anthony Ramsey. Which I'm not seeing Anthony as of yet. We might have to talk to Lewis Knight, our 2nd place finisher here first. Hey Lewis, it's Tyler and Tim up in the broadcast booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
All righty, buddy. You bring that car home in second in kind of a topsy-turvy feature event. Even with 8 cars out there, there was a lot of wild things happening. At one point, the leader was ahead of, practically a lap ahead of everybody. You kind of had a mix-up with Armando Melgoza entering turn 3 there as you were trying to work your way around to put him a lap down. So tell us a little bit about that incident and how you managed to get back into second place here tonight.
Yeah, I had the field pretty much won by, I don't know, like 4 or 5 seconds, and I come up on a lap car there, and he was running higher turn 3 and 4, turn 1 and 2. I go under him, and he went low too, and I just didn't check up, and I got in the back of him. When the pits got fixed, come back out, and I started in the back, and just worked my way up towards the front. The bottom was in there for almost the whole race, and then towards the end, I couldn't get nothing to work on the bottom. I tried to run Orlando back down, but couldn't get him.
Yeah, absolutely. Kind of a tough finish there with the track slicking off. But real quick, got to say, love seeing Premier Racing setups on the side of the race car here tonight as they are partners with us on the Buckeye Racing Network.
Yeah, it's glad to represent them. I'm also the 305 builder, and we should be having 305 sets up on the website pretty soon. I got to get all track pass done, and then they should be up there. So glad to
Absolutely.
be here.
Well, that spells well for this league since this is an open set 305 league. So awesome to hear. Tim, do you have anything to ask Lewis?
Yeah, what was the perfect storm for you tonight? Like what about the track uh fit your style there?
Well, to be honest, in warm up, I tried a little bit of top and bottom to see where it was faster. And at the beginning of the feature, bottom was definitely in. I was hooking on that bottom. Um, there towards when I come back out of the pits there, I noticed the bottom was totally gone. I tried to slide the wing back, trying to get some grip out of the rear wheels, and it didn't really help much. So I went to the top there, and the last couple laps I was in on the leader, but I couldn't reel him in fast enough. But uh, I liked that it was racy, that it wasn't just one lane everywhere. It wasn't one guy running one line and totally walking away from everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. Once we kind of had those yellows and everybody bunched back up, it kind of provided some good racing for us in the closing laps. Before we let you go tonight, Lewis, who would you like to thank?
Uh, Premier, obviously they're a big sponsor, and Richard himself has done a lot for me. Um, the other sprint car builder, Aiden Price, has done a lot for me and helped me out. Um, them guys are the main people I like to thank. Premier does everything they can to help their drivers, so I'm glad to be here and glad to represent them.
Absolutely love hearing it. Well, Lewis, congratulations on your second place finish here tonight. I'll let you celebrate it.
Thank you.
All right, now we're going to move on to tonight's feature winner, Tyler Bickford, as we still don't see Anthony Ramsey available to interview, so we're going to move on to tonight's winner. Hey, Tyler, it's Tyler and Tim up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. Can you hear me?
Yes, we got you loud and clear. All right.
Sweet.
All right, you bring that car home in first in a wild turn of events there past the halfway point, as at one point, three of you guys were running almost a lap behind Chase to Clue, so something was amiss in the timing and scoring, and then in the crazy battles there you had with Ramsey there battling for the lead. So kind of run us through your night and tell us how it all panned out for you.
Yeah, I don't know. I joined just to race different stuff. This was actually my first 305 race. So I feel like that's pretty good. I don't know. I just went out there and was like, I'll just race the race, and I wasn't expecting this, so I'll take it.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming home with a win in your first real try at a 305 sprint car. Can't ask for much better results than that. Tim, do you have anything to ask Tyler?
Yeah, on the start there, uh, coming out of four, not the you guys went about a lap, but there was a 3 car pile up. What was going through your head, and on top of that, how difficult was this combo for you?
Um, that wreck was wild. I wasn't expecting that so early. I don't know. I was pretty far back when it happened, so luckily I was able to check up and just keep on driving. And I don't know, it was definitely a different combo, but a lot of throttle control.
Yeah, for sure it was. Tyler, before we let you go, though, anybody you'd like to thank?
You guys for broadcasting and STRR for putting it on.
All right, Tyler, congratulations on the victory here tonight at Kern, and we'll let you celebrate it.
Thank you. Have a good one.
You as well. All right, that brings our interviews to a close here tonight. We're going to wrap things up here from Kern Raceway. Tim, closing thoughts from you.
Just an amazing track. This seems like every time we come to this raceway, it seems like it puts on a show.
Yeah, absolutely. Kern has put on some good shows for us here on the Buckeye Racing Network. Again, week number 4 now in the books for the Short Track Rivals Racing 305 Sprint Car Division. Tyler Bickford bringing home the win here tonight. Up next for us on the Buckeye Racing Network, Thursday night, the Limited Late Model Division with STRR right here, 9 o'clock Eastern Thursday night. And this coming Sunday, we'll be live with the League of Outlaws Championship race in their IMCA style modified division. Again, right about 9 o'clock Eastern for that one as well. And like I said, stay tuned to Facebook and socials as we will announce some bigger events here shortly coming up for us on the channel. That's going to do it for us here tonight. For Tim Henderson, I'm Tyler Bentley. Good night.